This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. We may be a comic duo, but we take mental health very serious. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service and is completely online. BetterHelp is a network with over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, answer a few questions, and BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network.
You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/amp. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/amp.
Well, hello there. I was talking to a friend of mine a couple weeks ago, and he was mentioning how he works with someone that absolutely drives him insane. And he kind of laughed about it, but the more I listened, the more that he was really bothered by this person. Everything that this person did, text message, calls, emails, walked into his office, drove him crazy. And he said, I don't know how I can get out of hyper-focusing on this negative state that I'm in. And first, my heart went out to him because that is just so frustrating. I don't know the person that he works with, so I'm not sure if the person does it on purpose, if it's a personality thing, if they just don't get along, or if it's a competition thing at work. It could be just about anything, right? Sometimes you just work with people you don't like. It happens. Everyone manages differently. Everyone works differently. And this is the challenge that we have to deal with when we're working with groups of people or people one-on-one or anything like that. It happens. But I loved that he recognized that he was hyper-focusing on the negative because it was draining him. It was impacting his productivity, and it was definitely impacting his well-being at work and at home. And the more we talked, the more I could relate because I was there a few years ago. I worked with someone that every single thing she did drove me crazy. I didn't like the way she managed. I didn't like the way she emailed. I didn't like the way she talked to people. I didn't like the way she did business. It was crazy. It was crazy. We were just two very different people. We were very passionate people at our place of work, but we just had different personalities. And I found myself also hyper-focusing on the negative. So I told my friend, I wrote some notes on this years ago, went to therapy, worked through it, figured out how I could see more positive. And so I shared with him some things, and I want to share it with you because I think this is a super great topic because I think a lot of times, and most recently after COVID and all that kind of stuff, I feel like people do hyper-focus on the negative. So we'll just maybe chat on hyper-focusing on the negative at work. And then you can use it for lifestyle or anything else that you want. The first thing that I'd like to suggest is to recognize, then interrupt the negative patterns. You first have to be aware and catch yourself focusing on something negative. Pause, take a deep breath, acknowledge that you're focusing on the negative. And just be aware. It's the first step to changing your mindset. And that's what we want to do, right? We want to change your mindset. The next thing you have to do is as soon as you are aware, oh my gosh, this person is driving me crazy. Why did she say it like that? Why did he do this? Why did they do this? Acknowledge it. Be aware that you're having them just engulf your brain with this negativity and then interrupt the thought immediately. Think of something like, is this thought helpful? Or scream. I know that sounds funny, but I've been in my car before And I hung up the phone on someone. Well, I didn't hang up on them, but I hung up with them and just screamed super loud, clapped my hands. I was sitting at a red light, clapped my hands super loud and went, all right, done. I put on the radio and I put on a favorite song and listened to that until the negativity went away. And that's how I interrupted the thought. Now, you don't want to hurt your, throat or, clap your hands too much while you're driving or anything like that. But it is. You could do a mental cue. You could do a physical cue. Obviously don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt other people. But think to yourself, is this thought helpful? Is it helping me right now? And if it's not, if you clapped your hands and said, I am going to change what I'm thinking about right now, consciously switch to something more constructive. Think of a favorite song. Think of your family members, or think of something like your vacation that you had last year at the beach or wherever. Think of the last positive thing that happened to you. Focus on that. And then maybe think of a few more things. Get that negativity out of your brain. It's hard. I'm going to tell you right now, it was 4 or 5 years for me of this. It is draining. It impacts everything when you cannot get out of your head. There were some days that I would walk around my house or go for a walk outside and I would shake my body because I was like, why is this in my brain? Why am I so negative? I mean, I knew that I had to change. I knew it was me. And I kept reminding myself that I was the one going on the walks with the high blood pressure and the stress and the hives and the crying and the not sleeping. But the person that was bothering me was probably sleeping like a baby, reading a book, listening to music, not even knowing that they're doing this to me. Now, some people do know that they're doing it to you. Some people, as we know, do gaslighting, narcissistic traits, all that kind of stuff. That's not this episode. This episode is hyper-focusing on the negative and how we can change our ways to the positive. So, that person may not know. Other people may know that they're doing this to you. And if they see a reaction, they're going to keep doing it. Don't let them see your reaction. All right. Recognize and interrupt negative patterns, however it is you want to do it. I actually, after I would get off the phone with this person years ago that would drive me crazy, I would then call my best friend and say, kick me in the butt. I need something positive. And she would tell me something funny that was happening at work, and then I would say, that was amazing. Thank you. I would hang up the phone and I would just laugh about the story that she told me. And that was another way that I interrupted the thought. Focus on what you can control. So control versus influence. Identify what aspects of the situation are within your control and take actionable steps. You have to let go of what's beyond your control. If the person talks to you rudely and no other bosses are going to stop it, if the person emails you, if they call you, if they're just rude, and no matter what you do, they're going to be that same way. They're going to be cranky, crabby, snotty, whatever, anything you can think of. You have to let go of what's beyond your control. There is nothing you can do to change a person's attitude or aggressiveness, but you can change the way you treat yourself. Let go of what's beyond your control. You can't control a coworker's attitude, but you can control how you respond. For me, years ago, I stopped answering my phone. Put it in writing. I've said that many, many times. Go back to the micromanaging episode or the one with Cass about silos. Put it in writing. They don't have to call you. Because again, if they're going to call to pick on you or what you think is, they've already been thinking about it. Then they call you and they're catching you off guard and then you can't answer the way that you want. If they put it in writing, you also have time to think about it and you can respond appropriately after you've thought it through, after you've pulled the negative from it and you just read the facts, then you can respond. I've told everybody this. Believe me, it works. Reframe challenges as opportunities. So your growth mindset, you have to try to view problems as opportunities to learn. Oh, did I do that all last year? I had a teacher that would give us a challenge and say, how would you get out of it? And I would have to try and figure out a solution, not being angry at what was happening or what was being presented to me, but a solution on how to get out of it. But then she would come back and say something else. And then I'd have to find another solution. And you could feel, your blood pressure or your heart rate rising. And you would but as long as you kept having solutions, you were keeping things positive within yourself. So what you want to ask yourself when you're reframing challenges as opportunities is, what can I learn from this? The mindset shift can reduce frustration and increase resilience. That's a big one. I had to learn resilience. You have to put that guard up a little bit with people that are driving you crazy, or maybe their approach is not how you would do things, because once again, everyone is different. But if you increase your resilience, you are actually able to pull the facts from what they're saying and answer accordingly. For example, if someone's approach is rather rough and tough and with an attitude, and they say something like, I need you to go there to do this, but their approach is just really rough, whether it's in writing text. You're not supposed to put emotion to text, but you know what? When you're hyper-focusing on negative, sometimes that happens. Maybe there's no greeting, maybe there's no thank you, maybe that's just whatever the situation is, right? So you put up your resilience so that you can set aside the attitude, set aside their negativity, set aside whatever is making you hyper-focus on their negativity, and you just get to the core of the information, the facts. What do they need me to do? Here are the facts. I'm going to go accomplish that today. The next is taking breaks and changing your environment. If you do the same thing every single day, go backwards. I work out every morning. Then I have a cup of coffee and sit in front of my computer and start sending emails. Sometimes I just don't want to do that. So I get up, I take a shower, I run to a couple stores that I want to visit, I grab coffee on the way, I come back home, then sit by my computer because I just want to change my environment a little bit. I can't remember if Cass shared this or if it's a friend of ours, but she sets an alarm on the hour. So as she's sitting in front of her computer, the alarm goes off. She gets up, she walks around, she resets, she refocuses, and then she goes back to the task at hand. Super helpful. This is a big one of mine, and it's set boundaries for the negative conversations. You got to avoid the negative talk. You have to limit engaging in workplace gossip or negativity. That's a tough one because you may be speaking to someone and they feel the same. So then all of a sudden it's just a big gossip and negative session. Don't do that. Don't be the starter of it. And don't be the continuer of it. Politely steer conversations towards a more neutral or positive topic. So just a couple weeks ago, I was getting involved in something outside of work, and people were calling me and asking me questions, and I started internally taking what they were saying, and it was bothering me. I was losing sleep, and I thought, no, I cannot do this. So it was like a little friendship quarrel. So when someone would call me and say, I need your advice, I would say, if it's about so-and-so, you got to go to that person, right? I cannot help. You calling me is only gossip. So if you think about that for the work environment, for the workplace, if the same coworker keeps calling you saying, oh, this, oh, that, oh, say, do you have a solution? Is there something I can help you with? Because if I can't help you, this is just gossip. Or if you're not going to do something about it, if you don't have a solution, this is just gossip. So think about that. So you want to redirect conversations. If coworkers are complaining, try to redirect the conversation by suggesting solutions or changing the subject to something lighter or more constructive. Practice daily positivity. I just found myself waking up a couple mornings in a row and went, ugh, another day. And really it should be, yay, another day. You have to start on a positive note. It may be your last day. No one is guaranteed tomorrow, right? Think about that. Are you going to spend all day today being negative, talking negative, gossiping, sad about something, irritated by someone? Or are you going to take on the day and be like, no, I am going to be positive. I am going to find that silver lining. Begin your day with a positive routine. Review your accomplishments from the day before. Set an intention for the day. That is so great. Set an intention. Today, I am going to, and do it. Do it. Make it positive for yourself. Now, within that work day, you might get that phone call or that email or that text. When you're ready, respond. Because if you are having a positive moment, don't let anybody break that from you. Don't let any negativity come into your positivity. It can set a constructive tone for your workday. Wake up, stretch. Yes, I'm alive, I'm here, I'm breathing, I'm healthy. Thank you that I can go do what needs to be done. You're paying bills, unfortunately. Adulting, right? End your day with gratitude. So you just had all day. You started it on a positive note. You're going to keep the positivity. You're going to just set your boundaries for the negativity. You're not going to gossip. You're not going to be upset. You're not going to hyper-focus on the negative. You're going to be happy for yourself and what you're accomplishing for the day. Then you're going to end your day with gratitude. End it each day. Reflect on something that went well. Even if it's small. Like, reinforce a sense of accomplishment for yourself. You did it. End the day with gratitude. So another thing would be to break large tasks into smaller ones. Avoid being overwhelmed. If you are overwhelmed by a big project, break it down into smaller, manageable tasks. Completing each step helps you focus on the progress rather than the enormity of the task. And it's not bad. This is not gossip. It's not bad to ask for feedback and support. You can seek constructive input if you're stuck in a negative spiral. Asking a trusted colleague or supervisor for feedback can provide you a fresh perspective and actionable advice. Don't let it become gossip. Hey, how can I do this better? Or, they keep asking me to do this, but I don't feel confident doing it. Could you help me? Absolutely. Yes. Don't bring up the negative person. Don't bring up the negative task. Learn something, because you know what? That could be your gratitude at the end of the day. Get support. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Sometimes talking through an issue with someone can offer solutions or new ways to approach the problem. Oh, I just had this happen a couple weeks ago. I was looking right at somebody and I said, this, and this is happening. And the person turned it all around and said, well, no, this person did that and this, that. And all of a sudden I was like, wow, new perspective. Did not even think of it that way. I felt so much better. I felt bad for saying negative things because I'm trying not to be a negative person, but that person was my positive light for the day and it was a win. Celebrate the wins, even if they're small. Acknowledge your progress. Regularly take stock of your achievements. You have to be proud of yourself. You have to build your self-esteem. If you're feeling like you have a low self-esteem, this probably is the first one you want to work on, is celebrating wins so that you can build your self-esteem, so you can break large tasks into smaller ones, so you could get the feedback and support, so you could practice daily positivity, so you could set the boundaries, so that you can take breaks and change your environment. I feel like celebrating small wins, acknowledging your progress, building your self-esteem could be first, and then you go from there. And no matter how minor, celebrate your achievements. Celebrate small wins throughout the day. It can shift your focus to what's going right. Use positive affirmations at work. Now, we did kind of a funny positive affirmation episode. If you want to go listen to that one, I might do another one. I got a lot of positive feedback on it, made people laugh. I thought it was great. Maybe go listen to that one. Or if you truly, truly need positive affirmation during work, boost your mindset by using phrases like, I am capable of handling this task. I bring value to this team. Reinforce positive thinking when you're feeling down. So by incorporating these habits, and I hope it helped a little bit, You'll gradually train your brain to focus on the positive aspects of your work environment, leading to a more balanced and fulfilling experience. Stop hyper-focusing on the negative. You are a fantastic person. You do great things. Every single person on this earth can have a great day, can have a positive day, can have an impact. And you are one of them. Small wins, big wins, celebrate them all. Celebrate you. Thanks for listening. Take care.